Hello, Hillary Raven Porter here, full spectrum healer and Tamiana Starseed Oracle. I am here to share with you one of my favorite tarot/oracle spreads. Yata na Matsutoti Shikia. I created this spread last year when we came around to the solstice. This spread allows you to see the cycle that is coming, right? As we're emerging, solstice, balance of light and dark. And we're emerging back into the light. So we're seeing the themes that are coming up for the year. And then as we return back to the solstice, we're starting to ponder. We're going inward, right? It's the cold time of the year and we're like cocooning up, well, at least up here in Canada. We're cocooning up. And so we're really going inward and we're reviewing the last year. Possibly you follow what they've told us is the new year, which is January 1st and when we celebrate. And so even if you're following that, you're starting to feel that what's coming next, right? Where have I been? What have I learned? And the spread can kind of help you map out your year and be like, oh, this is what's coming, right? It can just give you some insights and support. And it's very interesting to look back at the previous year and be like, oh, did that actually align? What came up for that? What came up for this? It's also good to go back to every month and every cycle. So on each solstice and each equinox to look at your reading and be like, okay, this is the potential of what is coming for this cycle or for this month. And then at the end of that cycle or month, go back and look and be like, oh, how did that actually play out? So it's a really great way to keep in touch with yourself throughout the year and the frequency of the year. So I don't have the pleasure of my phone flipping the camera, so I can't show you a spread that way. So we're going to use usually a whiteboard, but apparently my markers are deciding to not be dark enough. So we're just going to use, good old-fashioned paper and pen. So for this spread, I like to use 2 different decks, but you don't have to. Yeah? There's 2 parts to this. One, there is the theme for the season. So I like to use one deck for the theme for the season and one deck for the the monthly insight. So we're gonna have these wonderful, I actually really like pen on paper. I'm just saying. Old school like chalkboard. I don't like the touch of the chalk, but hi, sweetie. Rosie's come to join us as usual. Hi, and she's off. She loves the winter solstice. Like, she's just been in her glory for the last little bit. So, you pull the first 4 cards, which are representative of winter solstice, spring equinox, summer solstice, autumnal equinox, or fall equinox, right? See? Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, and you lay them out in a clockwise fashion. Yeah, to go moving forward fashion. The second deck, you tune in. I mean, you're going to tune in with all of these, right? You're going to take that moment, you're going to come into centered space and set that vibrational frequency of, I'd like some guidance, or can you please offer me guidance as to what can be coming up? What's the potential for this next year? And you pull the 4 cards, place them face down, right? Like we said, in those 4 spots. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Then, you pull 3 more cards from the second deck, which you'll see in orange. See, second deck, and you lay them out like this, face down. And this is January, February, March. Yeah? Because what was this? So it's the January, February, March. It's a close alignment, right? Because we know so the first card is actually Kitoko, 21st of December, till about the 21st of January, and you're going month for month. You can also do moon for moon, right? Full moon, new moon, whatever the solstice is landing on, the closest one, you can look at it that way as well. And then you just keep going. Kikora apa o kara aka o ara. Yeah? You just keep going. My camera shows it's backwards, but this is clockwise. And they represent the months in between or the cycle in between. Whatever portion feels or cycle feels aligned for you, right? So once again, the blue ones represent the solstice or the equinox, right? Starting with the winter, right? We start with the winter and we move to the right. Start the winter, spring, summer, fall. And then you have your second deck or the same deck for the cycles in between, the 3 segments in between. Whether that's moon to moon, like full moon to full moon, new moon to new moon, 21st to 21st, whatever that looks like for you. You can even just do January, February, March. It's totally up to you. Yeah? So you can see how that really gives you a snapshot of here's the next few months. And again, this isn't, when you pull your cards, it's not, this is definitely going to happen. So last year's deck pull that I had, or cycle, the cycle when I did this, there were some pretty intense cards. The marrying maiden, so I used the Tao as the in-between cards, as the monthly cards, we'll call them. The marrying maiden is very much about constriction. There was a shake-up, an upheaval card, and it's remembering, again, these aren't set in stone. These aren't, oh my goodness, my world is going to shatter, I have the upheaval card. Maybe there's something that shifted. Maybe there's a house, a new home space. Maybe there was a little shakeup in your spiritual layers, right? Maybe the potential for that, because of all the work up until that point, atitoka shifted. Right? It's not set in stone. But it gives you an idea of the flow that can be happening for you, which then allows you to lean in or pull back. Yeah, and to just be aware of like, this is a potential. And then when something comes up, you're like, oh, and that's also why it's supportive to go back and at the beginning of each cycle, each mini cycle and the bigger cycle, so the solstice or the equinox, and also those segments between each, and to be like, oh, that's what's coming, or that's what happened, oh, that did actually, or and then sit with, did that actually influence? Was that an influence? Was it not an influence? Our cards are supportive. They're not the be-all and end-all. Yeah? You are still a sovereign being within this journey. These are supports and tools that we have to support to the journey, to be with us along in this journey. Okay? Let me know if you give it a try, if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Okay, so much love and stardust, and have a most wonderful season. It is the solstice today, so anyways.